What's going on, everyone? Mike Singer and Tim Hyde here for our final thoughts, observations, and prediction ahead of Notre Dame versus Stanford, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff. Find the game on NBC. 3-2 Irish program, just on the cusp of the top 25 in the AP and coaches poll, and then a 1-4 Stanford team coming off of losses to, man, it's hard to count. There's so many of them. Oregon State, USC, Oregon, Washington.
Yep.
And then they open the season 41-10 with a win against Colgate. I'm Mike Singer. He's Tim Hyde. Please hit the thumbs up on this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all of our Notre Dame football and recruiting content. Mr. Hyde, let's go through your keys to the game for the Fighting Irish. And number one, you're looking at this Notre Dame defense.
Yeah, the defense, it's been good to watch and frustrating to watch. I think we could all agree at the same time. Good in that, every single team they've played this year, they've held them under their average, which is unbelievable. Every single one. I'm talking 10, 12 plus points under their average. The last three games, they've placed, three really good quarterbacks, Plummer, Drake May, and obviously the Brigham Young guy I just love. I think he's outstanding. And these last three games, the Notre Dame secondary, the back seven, the pass rush, they've held these last three quarterbacks under 50% combined. That is unbelievable. They're 48% over these last three games. So they're doing a lot of really good things, holding points down, but then they just fall apart for 30 seconds here and there. The miscommunication, the big plays, the long drives, I think has been fascinating. And one of the things real quick, Marcus Freeman talked about was last year after his first two games, they gave up 6 drives of over 75 plus yards last year against Florida State and Toledo. And Marcus Freeman tweaked some things on defense, made adjustments. He even talked about the communication, simplified a few more things. And then that defense really took off after that down the road. This year, 70 plus yard drives, they've given up 14 of them in 5 games. 14 in 5 games and multiple 90-yarders drive. So it's been interesting. And I think this D has played, like we said, really good. They've held the points down. They're not creating the turnovers, but they have played really good football. And then all of a sudden it's boom, one play here, one play there, a lapse in a certain drive. And Freeman has talked about that. So I'm looking forward to Freeman, Golden getting together, tweaking a few things, maybe even simplifying a few things, playing maybe less man at times, and just honing these guys into some certain assignments and seeing what this football team could do moving forward.
Tim, I think key number 2 here is we can just have this as key number 2 every single game because Notre Dame is going to need to run the football.
Yeah.
Whether it's Drew Pine, Tyler Buckner, Ian Book, Jack Cohn, whoever it is, Notre Dame's going to need to run the football until they get like that true truck at quarterback. So yeah, the Irish need to get the ball, going on the ground. How good is this Stanford run defense, Tim?
That's why I wanted to chat about this rush defense for Stanford is 121st in the country. 121st. They are 114th in scoring defense. So Notre Dame offensive line, which after those first couple of games, I think they were ranked in the 110 rushing, and they have jolted up over these last 3 games to 51st in the country. So they have just doubled their output over these last 3 games. And with this Stanford team reeling a little bit in some of their stats, now they've played really good football teams as well, as you rattled off there to start the video. But I think this Notre Dame team, how they're coming together, they're really starting to gel up front. 3-game winning streak. Patterson starting to solidify himself. Fisher just had his best game this past week against Brigham Young. Joe Alt's been playing at an All-American level. Zeke Carell's been outstanding. I just want to see this offensive line take it, keep smashing it, keep getting this mojo going. The 3-headed monster, Jason Garrett's been talking about at NBC, get this thing going as well. And I'm looking for Notre Dame to go out and run the ball for 300 yards. I think that'd be an awesome night. And then you get the Drew Pine pass game going. That would be awesome to see.
So it kind of leads us into key number 3. Well, is you run the ball well first, second down, make it easy on third down. And so what do you have to tell us about Notre Dame's improved third down offense?
Yeah, completely improved. They have gone for 63%, Mike, the last 2 games combined on third down. When going back after those first couple of weeks, they were in the bottom 10 of the country when it came to third down. They were struggling. And I think that goes back to the run game, what's been going on, getting a lot more third and mediums, third and twos. And then on top of that, they are also throwing. They are throwing more on obviously run downs than they are, running at times, which, we've seen lately. And that goes back to Drew Pine. Drew Pine's efficiency, his, get rid of the ball quick when it's 3rd and 5. And he's got the best playmaker out there at the tight end spot, Michael Mayer, who's going to be, first team All-American when this season's all said and done. He keeps going. He's got the best one in the country to get it to on third down. So my thing with the third down is massive improvements the last couple games. And it started that second half at Cal when they got their offensive rolling. So really look forward to seeing that. And I think a lot of that stems from Drew Pine, the quick game, and obviously this vastly improved offensive line is just getting it going.
So, Tim, we'll talk about these Vegas lines all the time,
Love it.
and just how close they are to being that dead on accurate. Notre Dame, as we record this, is a 17-point favorites, and our favorite odd shark, and I'll pull it up here. I'll give their prediction, but I'm going Notre Dame 34, Stanford 17. Really, because I'm just going to go right on the line, because I have no creativity like you have. Odd Shark, their formula has Notre Dame 48, Stanford 9. So you would certainly love that result if you're a Fighting Irish fan. Tim, what way are you going here?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting line, correct? It's like that would be a blowout times 10, I guess you could say. I'm not going that big, but I started looking, as we talked about in our live show when talking about, looking at this game, there's been ebbs and flows. Notre Dame dominated for a while. Stanford, when Harbaugh in those early David Shaw years started, dominating for a while. There was a period of 10 years where just the home team won, back in the Willingham and in those early Weiss years. And then Notre Dame has just gotten it rolling the last 3 times. They didn't play in the COVID year, but the last 3 times they have played, Notre Dame they've blown them out. They've dominated these football games. And the last, it's interesting because both, neither team's ranked. And that's the other thing. In these last 15 years, let's say, someone's been ranked. Stanford's been nationally ranked. They've had the top 10. They were both in the top 10 in 2018 when they played. 2016, neither were ranked. Stanford won. So I went all the way back and found, when was the last time Notre Dame and Stanford played unranked? Notre Dame was unranked and won against Stanford in Notre Dame. It's 2008. And the quarterback that night was Jimmy Clausen. So in honor of Drew Pine, who's slinging it over 70% passing in these last 3 games, Jimmy Clausen threw for nearly 350 yards that night. I'm not saying Pine gets 350. That would be pretty awesome if he did. But I am going to go Notre Dame is going to win for the first time in South Bend, win a battle of both unranked teams. And I'm going to go throw it back almost to your score. I'm going to go the same score as the top 10 matchup in 2018. So I'm going to go Notre Dame 38, Stanford 17. Stanford, as I talked earlier, is averaging 29.5 points. So Notre Dame has held everybody they've played this year under their average. And I definitely believe they will hold Stanford under their average in this game.
All right, folks, there you have it. Final thoughts, observations, and prediction before the Irish clash against Stanford inside Notre Dame Stadium. Please do hit the thumbs up on this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and head over to blueandgold.com. $10 gets you access through August 31st, 2023. Really a deal that you can't beat. So please do head to blueandgold.com, read all of our pregame coverage and postgame coverage as well. Tim Hyde and I will be live on our YouTube channel. We will catch you next time.